Need experience to get the job, but need the job to get experience? Well, projects are an underutilized resource that you can add to your technical preparation to get the experience. In this video, we'll look at 7, it's a weird way to do 7 starter projects that you can add to your resume. Stick around to the end for 2 bonus projects by other creators that have full walkthroughs. First project, email security. Buy a domain, go to godaddy.com, buy a domain, and get yourself a personalized email address. Configure the DNS records, SPF, DMARC to ensure it's secure. You can add this address to your resume and highlight it as a skill that you now have experience with. So many companies do not have DMARC set up correctly, and this is a high demand skill. Email is the #1 path for threat actors to compromise accounts. Knowing how to secure email is a must. Project number 2, Antivirus. Find and install a free antivirus program, such as Malware on a virtual machine. Look through all the configurations and see what changes you can make. While on the VM, download potentially unwanted programs. See how the AV reacts. Then try downloading Auger. It's a test file from the European Institute for Computer Antivirus Research, and test with that. See if you can block files by hash. If you can, create an executable file with some code, maybe from ChatGPT, like a PowerShell script that grabs system info and writes it to a text file. Nothing malicious there. Grab its hash and block it in the AV. Then try and execute the file, see how the AV reacts. Number 3. Office 365 Security. Microsoft offers a trial version of O365. Register an account for a month to play with. Once you have an account, set up users in Azure Active Directory. Once the users are in place, create some conditional access policies, Intune app policies, and configure threat policies. Finally, document the entire process. Write a blog or post about it on your website. Explain what you configured, how it protects the organization, and write up documentation so another analyst could reproduce it. Project 4, Security Awareness Training. Go through your personal email, hit your spam or junk folder, and you won't have to dig long. Find out how to determine what malicious indicators are, and then create walkthroughs on a few emails, highlighting what evidence you found and how that evidence led to your conclusion. Post these on Medium for visibility, create a mini course on educating users not to click links, input their credentials, download files, verify if an email is from a trusted sender, etc. You can take this to the next level by automating portions of the process. Have a Python script scan the headers, pull the information you require, then utilize APIs from, say, VirusTotal or Abuse IPDB to analyze that data. Project number 5, Network Security. pfSense is an open source firewall that you can set up in your home environment. Or if you have a spare Raspberry Pi, then set up OpenWRT. Either are great options. Look, if you are not an active administrator of your home network, now is the time to start. Learning to secure your home environment will go a long way in learning to secure an enterprise environment. Frankly, you can just start off with the gear that you have and see what options you can enable to increase security. Project 6, DNS Filtering. You can set up OpenDNS for $20 a year, or they have a free option. Download, install, set up, and test. Can you get to websites you shouldn't? What can you block? What should you block? What should an organization block to increase productivity and security? Up your DNS filtering game by setting up multiple profiles that allow certain users to access some sites that other users don't have access to. For instance, allow Facebook for someone and block it for another user. Project 7, Password Manager. Managing passwords is a pain. Do you know how many accounts you have? Do you know if any of those accounts have been compromised? So many folks use multiple open source password managers like Chrome, Firefox, Edge, and more. Consolidate all of your passwords into a single location, update them to be secure, delete old, unnecessary accounts, and enable MFA everywhere you can. Do you already pay for NordVPN? Well, they include a password manager, or there's a ton of options out there that are really affordable. Do some research. Should you use a cloud password manager or set up an on-prem Raspberry Pi password manager? Find the option that suits your needs and get going. Adding a project section on your resume is meant to supplement your experience and certifications. It tends to be less important than those sections, but far more impactful than saying you're just familiar with topics. If you add projects, you can speak to your experience with tools and technologies. Note, with all of the above, you may want to create a website to host your projects or even blog on medium.com so that you can give something to a hiring manager to look at. Visuals go a long way in proving your worth. 2 projects by other creators that are just phenomenal. The first one here is by Capuano. He is a senior SOC analyst and a SANS instructor. SANS is perhaps one of the best certification companies that you can go through to get certifications from. He knows his stuff. He's a phenomenal instructor, and he created a series called So You Want to Be a SOC Analyst. You can read through here. You can see all of the technologies that you'll learn about, that you'll skill up with. But what I want to jump down to is lab sections. So there are 6 parts. You'll set up some virtualization, you'll become an adversary, emulate what adversaries do, you'll learn to block attacks, then you'll tune so you can weed out those false positives, and you'll learn how Yara works. If you want to see a step-by-step guide, this is awesome. You can check out Simply Cyber there for that walkthrough. Or you can just read through each of these articles, and Eric does a walkthrough of it. He actually recently released SOC Analyst 2.0. So if you don't want to do all of the technical setup yourself, he has a fully cloud-hosted version of the VM requiring only a remote desktop. So it gets you up and running quickly. Project number 2. This one was created by Husky Hacks. He is super well-known cybersecurity expert. He spent time in the military doing intelligence analysis, has a job at MIT as a cybersecurity analyst. He's done a ton. Phenomenal instructor, and he brings us the course called Practical Malware Analysis and Triage through TCM Security. We can see here what you can expect to get from the course. It starts off with getting a VM, installing Remnux and Flare VM. So these 2 will get you the tools that you need to analyze malware, and he's created his own malware for you to analyze. The course sells for, I think, $30 full price. You can get discounts for this. I got it for $1 when it was discounted. Highly recommend. Check it out, because this will net you some serious skills. Have questions about any of these projects? Want to see actual walkthroughs for any of them? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Your support is awesome and means a ton. In the next video, we'll take a look at CTFs, or Capture the Flags, and how that can fast track you to a job in security.